Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Before I start the readings, I want to let you know that I do have some new online courses available on how to read oracle cards and crystals and spirituality, so click on the link below to check them out. Hi Cancer, it's Sloan Rhodes here with your life, purpose, career, and money readings for the months of May, June, and July 2018. Cancer, this is going to be a 3-month reading. The next life, purpose, career, and money reading will be in the month of August, for August, September, and October. And then I'll do a final one for the months of November and December. And Cancer, just to let you know, the love and romance readings are also up on the YouTube channel. And all readings are available on the podcast, on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts, so you can listen to your reading as well as watch it here on the YouTube channel. All right, Cancer, beautiful water sign. All right, so I'm going to get one card from the Earth Magic deck, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, as the overarching theme for you during this time period. 3 cards from the Life Purpose deck by Doreen Virtue, 3 cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Kranz, and then 1 card in the area of your money from the Money Tarot by Eugene Vinitsky. And we'll close out the reading, Cancer, with a numerology card. Let's go ahead and get started. For Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, here we go. Ebb and flow. Very Cancerian energy. That back and forth, the kind of the way that crabs kind of sidle back and forth. Ah, beautiful energy. Well, it looks like during this time period, you are kind of going with the flow. You're understanding when to push and when to pull back. It's lovely energy for you around your career, your sense of purpose in the world. Very oceanic energy. Works very nicely for you. And then we also have the tsunami card under the deck, the wake-up call. Again, it's under the deck, so it's not the main focus, but it is there. Now, it may have happened already, or may be something that occurs during this time frame for you. Okay, Cancer, let me get some cards for you. So you may experience it in terms of your work, Cancer, that during this particular time frame, there may feel like sometimes there's 2 steps forwards, 1 step back kind of energy, or 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So you may feel like maybe you're not getting anywhere sometimes. But the more that you can kind of go with the flow and not get too upset about it or freak out about it, the easier it will be to make the progress that you're making that you may just not feel like you're making. So let's get some additional cards, Cancer. So from the Life Purpose deck, we get 3 cards for Cancer. It may be too, for many of you Cancers, that there's this ebb and flow energy as you work to complete a project or a cycle at work. It may be that you've been rushing to finish it, and then in the end you feel like, wait, there's stops and starts, and you may feel a little frustrated. But remember, kind of just go with it as best you can. Everything will get completed as it's in the time that it's meant to. And that ebb and flow is happening for a reason, even if it's not always evident. Okay, so we have Artist. Engaging in artistic activities is beneficial to your career and every other area of your life. Freedom, beautiful energy. And career change. As I mentioned, you're working towards the completion of something with that ebb and flow energy. You may feel a little frustrated a bit as it kind of goes back and forth, but that's okay. It's happening as it's meant to. All right, we also have options under the deck. It's always nice to have options, that's for sure. Consider the career possibilities that are open to you. Again, we have career change here, kind of towards the end of this period. And we have that beautiful freedom. You're free to do what you choose. And we have Artist. So let me show you the cards as I see them. So we have Artist, we have Freedom, and we have Career Change. Well, you are a water sign. Innately, I think you have that ability to tap in to the emotional aspect of life, to be more creative and artistic. And it may be that during this time frame for some of you Cancers that it actually does show up in this desire to paint
to be artistic in some sort of artistic medium. And it would certainly open you up, take you out of your head, and allow you to play more with your emotions. And in doing so, whether you choose to do it in terms of painting or something like that, either way, whatever you like to engage with creatively and artistically, it helps you to tap into the freedom, that sense of freedom, of being able to do what you choose, you know, the ebb and flow, being in the flow of life, not fighting things. We also have that tsunami, the wake-up call under the deck. Again, it could be something that occurs prior to this time frame, or something that has occurred prior to this time frame, or something that occurs during this time frame where there is that kind of like sudden shift. Something occurs and you're like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. And it does help to remind you that you are free. Maybe it actually is that there is a career change, there's some upset, and you decide to make a change in your career or what you're doing at work. It doesn't have to be a change in complete career, but maybe the direction that you've been going with a project or this kind of thing. And you hold the freedom for this, Cancer. You're the one that gets to choose. Through your ability to tap into the emotional realms, to understand what is flowing underneath the surface of whatever it is your client is wanting, or whatever it is the boss is wanting, or whatever it is that's being required of you in the moment, you are free to choose based on your understanding of what's going on. And your playful nature and your ability to connect to others and to understand everyone's emotions and how there is a natural rhythm to life, that helps to shift this project in the direction you're wanting it to go, or it helps you to shift into a career that feels more in alignment with who you are now. You have a lot of options available to you, and maybe you've been weighing them kind of on the down low. And during this particular time frame, it looks like as we kind of go forward during this time frame, you do decide to make a shift in a big way. And again, it could be that there is some kind of wake-up call that happened recently. Not necessarily negative, but something that kind of like, oh, okay. Often, though, kind of an event that occurs that kind of gives you pause and creates a shift. And that causes you to, explore your options there. Okay. Let me get some additional cards from the tarot deck for Cancer. Engaging in artistic activities is beneficial to your career and every other area of your life. If you have been going through a period where you have been hyper-focused, using your mind primarily to figure out what you want to do, by relaxing and giving your left brain a break and allowing your right brain, the creative side, to explore, take over for a bit, it will help shift things in the direction that you're wanting. Or maybe you're just seeking something that's more balanced, with that options. Maybe you've been way out of balance, all left brain, no right brain, or all right brain, no left brain, and now you're coming back into balance, or you're wanting to choose something where you feel more balanced. Either way, you're being called to make a change. We have the wake-up call, the career change, freedom. Yeah, it's like I can't remember what other sign I said this for, but it was like there's a door closing before another one opens, and I see it here too for you, Cancer. Like even with the wake up call and the career change, the idea of sunset, and here we have sunset too. As this one chapter closes, let's say, it feels more like that, like a chapter of your life is closing. Another one is opening for you, where you feel more free, where you feel more expressive, where you feel more appreciated for your artistic and creative self. Because you are appreciating your creative and artistic self more. Maybe you get into design or something like that. Whatever, this is obviously it's a general reading, so there's a multitude of careers and sense and ways in which you connect to your sense of purpose. But for some of you, it may be designing things, that kind of feel, artistry, creativity, design. And with that wake-up call, we have this idea of sunset, then we have the moon, the full moon, more of that divine feminine energy, the lunar energy, more creative, allowing the unconscious to come forth into your conscious awareness by allowing the right side of the brain to engage in activities that nurture it. Okay, so let me get 3 cards from the tarot deck for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, May, June, and July 2018. The Tower in reverse, the Hanged Man in the center, and the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Mother of Cups under the deck. So I don't know if I said it for this reading, but I've said it for other readings. The tsunami is often kind of like the tower in the tarot deck, and here we have the Tower. So it is in the reverse, so I feel like whatever has occurred for you, Cancer, something occurred for someone else, and you were kind of witness to it. And maybe that's what the wake-up call is, like, oh, that could happen to me, or this kind of thing. Or it caused you, the pain and suffering that can occur when you witness it in someone else, and causes you to go within and recognize that life can be fragile and there is an ebb and flow. And, you're wanting to be free, how precious life is, and you want to be free to explore your life in a way where you feel more aligned with a greater sense of freedom, of course, but divine guidance, divinely guided in your sense of purpose in the world. But during this time frame, we have that Hanged Man, right in the center with the Freedom card and the ebb and flow. So again, very oceanic, right? So when you are standing at the edge of the ocean and you're watching the tide roll in and tide roll out, you're not thinking, hurry back, tide. You're just watching it. You're just, it's just part of the inhalation and exhalation of life, really. So you're not in a rush. And so this is the message for you here, Cancer. Don't be in a rush to make things happen. Allow the ebb and flow to occur as it's going to. And you take action when you feel inspired to do so. With the Hanged Man, it goes back with the weighing your options energy. You're waiting to feel inspired. You're weighing your options, but a decision has not been made here. Exploring your creative side may help you come to a decision more quickly. You may feel inspired to do so. And we have the career change, and we have with the Ace of Pentacles, it's like you're definitely not putting your energy into something anymore. And, and with that comes a career change. You are, in some ways, withdrawing your resources and energy from one particular project or actual job so that you can make a shift. Again, it doesn't have to be necessarily a career change from being like a doctor to suddenly becoming an artist. It could be something just at work where you no longer decide to, have clients who do this. You want to move more into this, this kind of thing. It's going to vary for everyone based on your own unique set of circumstances, of course, Cancer. All right. And we have that Mother of Cups in reverse under the deck. There may be a mother figure in your life who likes to play the victim. Could be someone at work, or could just be a client. Could be you, you are a water sign during this time frame, who sometimes, goes into that. We all do it at different times, so it's nothing to worry about. But during this particular time frame, it's a relatively short period of time. But it could be going into it too, because it may be part of the tsunami wake-up call, that there was an individual or event that happened, or it happens during this time frame, where someone is like kind of guilting you, or acting as though you should have done more, and you're like, I did all I could, sometimes things just don't work, and it's ebb and flow kind of energy, and there's someone in there who's kind of throwing a fit or trying to manipulate you. Could be a boss or someone like that. Doesn't have to be female. Who's trying to manipulate you with, trying to guilt you or shame you into something, and it's just icky energy. And I feel like you don't spend a lot of time with it, but it could be you may ebb and flow out of that during this time frame. We all do at different times, so you'll know it for yourself. All right, let me get money card. Don't be in a rush to make any decision. As I mentioned, the ebb and flow. Let it kind of settle in and see where you go. So see how you feel. Do something creative or artistic to help you relax, get out of fear and worry, and just let your right brain take over for a bit. And if you're doing work in order to please a mother figure, even though it's not what you want to do, you're being called upon to let go of that. There's this kind of energy around cutting things loose during this time frame. Oops, a little late. There we go. Okay, so around the money for Cancer, what have we got here? We have the King of Cups in reverse. You do have the Star under the deck, which I do like to see around your money. There is the potential there for more to come. There may be a delay. You know, we have this career change kind of towards the end of this time frame, I feel like, for some of you. So the Star kind of indicates that, yeah, things are going to work out. It may take a little time, though. Now we have this King of Cups around your money. It may be that with the King of Cups, we have the Mother of Cups, and you are a water sign, so I have to say it could be you, Cancer, who is just not, I'll say it this way, who's being overly, this is how it's coming in, who's being overly emotional with the way that they're handling their money. Sorry, the light is, I can't quite get it right. With the way that you are handling your money. You know, you're just being overly emotional. You're getting too caught up in the ebb and flow, back and forth. How do I feel? You know, try to be as disciplined as you can with your money. And if someone else is handling your money, maybe you're working for someone who's kind of emotionally unstable, this could be at play here as well. Whenever we have the King of Cups or the Queen of Cups in reverse, or even the Knight of Cups, there is this imbalance where their understanding of the emotional realm, their understanding of their emotional IQ tends to be used for ill, let's say, or they are abusing it in some way, or they're out of balance with it. So the King of Cups, in terms of your money, it may be that the person from whom you receive money is out of balance in this way. They're emotionally abusive, and they make you feel guilty for it, or you haven't done enough, you know, this kind of energy, and you're just like, you know, I'm cutting that loose. You know, you're considering your options here, and by the time this period lasts, time period, you're ready to make a shift here, if not before. But again, that ebb and flow is at play, so if it's you, you may find yourself sometimes ebbing into victimhood, and then flowing back into freedom. So that's okay. It's part of the expansion that occurs sometimes, if that makes sense to you. It's kind of a transition period for you during this time period, Cancer. So the more that you can tune in to your artistic and creative sensibilities and abilities, that will help. And the more that you nudge yourself into thinking about how amazing it's going to feel when you're free to do whatever it is you choose, as opposed to worrying about what's to come next. You know, with this option card under the deck, it could be like you've been spending a little too much time thinking, you've been overthinking that. You know, you got to let things happen as well. With that Ace of Pentacles in reverse, you know, you're just like, this something has occurred in your environment or close to you, kind of shook you a little bit. It's giving you cause to pause and change your perspective, understand clearly where you want to go. And then there's this kind of like, I'm just not going to put energy into that anymore. I just don't want to do that. So, and that turns out to be a good thing for you. Let me get one more card from the numerology deck and then close out your reading, Cancer. This is more a time of adjustment than aggressive decision making or anything like that. Okay, karmic completion under the deck. I mean, karmic completion, we have intuition under the deck here. Yeah, so you're working to end this cycle. We have career change, something new occurring. And as I mentioned, this is more a period of adjustment until you can create the ending. As I mentioned before, that kind of idea of sunset. The sun is setting on a particular project or career, and you've been weighing your options. It's like the sun hasn't set yet. We're not in darkness, but you're getting close to completion here. So this is during this period. Allow things to kind of ebb and flow as they change. Again, remember, it may be some frustration because you feel like you're not really making any headway, but you are. But things have to complete karmically, let's say, in the way that they're meant to, in terms of karma for all involved, not just for you. And trust your intuition. With all this watery energy, the ebb and flow, the Mother of Cups, the King of Cups. It's all that. The wake-up call with the tsunami, oceanic energy. Like, trust your intuition. It's spot on. Don't allow yourself to get into fear and worry about what's to come. What's going to change? How's it going to change? Get creative, get artistic, and allow yourself to kind of just be in this kind of, be held in the oceanic waters, let's say, during this time period, as things shift and move around you and come to their natural conclusion, let's say. Okay, I hope you found that helpful, Cancer. I wish you much love as always.